Hey everybody, Steve Ressler here at DriveCentric. Hey, I'm doing kind of a spin-off of my last presentation I did with Leverage Human Capital to Drive Better Results, because a lot of people want to learn a little bit more about artificial intelligence. So the presentation we're going to do is called AI Friend or Foe. So hopefully this will be a quick presentation, really talk about things we need to consider at the dealership to be more profitable now than ever about leveraging your people versus how we can leverage technology. So the first thing we want to do is say that these are people that are not going to be outside the dealership, right? So some of these we've talked about in the past with other presentations, but you better not have people stand outside your dealership. Now, the one thing we know is we have to communicate much better with each and every one of our customers. So let's focus on the communication part of it, because when we go out there and we look at this particular picture, the boat is the dealership. The dealer is usually the captain of the boat, right? So that's him with the fishing pole, and then everybody's following the dealership. But if you pay attention, where's the bait at? It's at the very bottom, and the fish aren't biting there anymore. So we have to look at something different here, because right now we're casting the reels, as we said before, with what? Emails and phone calls. And that's not the way customers are engaging us. So we have to be different. Got to be different. So again, if we go out there and say, what are we doing at our dealerships? How do I help your people catch more fish without having to cast the reel? And that's where technology and artificial intelligence can come in to really help catch some more fish. So let's think about what has happened over the last several months during this whole COVID thing. Talked to hundreds and hundreds of dealerships out there, and everybody says the same thing. We were more profitable, we sold less cars, and we did it with less people. So if that's you, okay, and now we're getting out of this COVID, how can we be more profitable coming out of this? So if we go out there and take a look at what NADA is actually researching, they're kind of doing the same thing we're evaluating at DriveCentric. How can we do more with less? And when we look at this slide right here, and I see that almost 59% of the dealership is spending their money on payroll, I want to take a look at maybe a certain department, maybe like the internet department, and say, do we need as much staff as we need if there's technology available? So let's talk about that. So when we go out there and evaluate the BDC, and we ask the experts what's out there with NADA, NCM, and Toyota, again, and this is for really cradle to an appointment process. I understand there's a different model for cradle to grave, but let's talk about this. If NADA and Toyota and NCM recommend this many leads per BDC person, can we all agree, let's target 150. So one BDC person can handle 150 leads. So what if we could investigate how technology can improve our efficiencies, our engagement rates, and get our closing rate potentially higher while not having the staff there to do it? So what I'm insinuating is, can we go from 150 leads to potentially stretch the envelope to 250 leads by leveraging technology like artificial intelligence? Now, we take a look at this graph right here, what this means to you as an operations. Instead of looking at 4 people for 600 leads, now you have 2.2. Now, what does that mean? Well, you could be paying your BDC people a little bit more extra money by their performance, right? And you don't have the head count. So if you can keep people happy, make more money, you're probably retaining a lot more people. But what do we know? People want to fight the artificial intelligence. We want to fight the technology. But AI is a friend to us if they're getting higher engagement rates. This is not going to make your people lazy. They're going to change their aspects of their way they're, instead of doing the task, do the task, I'm being a better replier. So let's think about what Digital Dealer did not too long ago, about a year ago. They went out there and said that many salespeople complain they can't get a hold of leads. Most dealerships quit after 2 attempts. Now, if you look at external BDC, it takes about 3.4 phone calls to connect with a customer. Now, that's an average. Most external people say it takes 6 to 8 attempts. Okay? That's alarming, because those activities generate the engagement. So what we did at DriveCentric was we took a look at 21 stores not using technology like artificial intelligence. There was 8,500 leads that we just looked at in the month of August 2020. The average activity per internet lead was almost 13 activities per lead. So what does that mean? Well, if I'm going out there and hitting 4 attempts to get engagement, I take 4 away from 13, I'm at 9. So that means I could be less conversational because I'm doing so much activity to try to get that engagement. So how many attempts out of that 13 did it take me to get the customer engaged? So you're losing your probability to get that customer engaged. Now we looked at 21 stores that had almost 20,000 leads in the month of August. The average internet lead activity now was 19. So what happened? Well, when you leverage artificial intelligence to get engagement, the AI achieved 5.5 activities per lead. The humans got roughly 13. So what does that mean for you at the dealership? Yeah, I'm going to have my AI get the engagement and toss it over the fence for my BDC people, my internet team to reply. So those 13 activities, the big chunk of those are responding. So I'm having more engagement with the customers faster than ever. So here's an example of a lead that came in. I'm going to hit play right here so you can just watch the activity. Now, this was a dealership. It was closed on Sunday, but the lead came in on that Sunday. The artificial intelligence is having engagement with this customer and teeing it all up for the internet salesperson. Now, what's interesting, looking at those stats from before, the AI on this particular lead had 7 activities to the customer, and obviously the customer is responding. It was all teed up for the salesperson to come in Monday, and what did the BDC person do? He had 12 texts, 2 emails, and 1 phone call. So there was a total of 15 activities by sales, 22 activities, and the car was delivered in 2 days. That's how we have to leverage technology to feed it right over to the BDC, because people sell cars. The AI is just teeing it up. So if we go back and take a look at the presentation I did before on leveraging your human capital to drive better results, what I'm trying to show you is the dealership that didn't invest in technology like artificial intelligence was closing at 7.2 closing percentage. Now, if we fast forward and look at what they were doing when they decided to go live with Drive, they added a tool like artificial intelligence along with focusing on different activities. But for this presentation, I just want to focus on the artificial intelligence. And their activity was 120 total activities is what they want to measure. Because the AI is getting so much engagement, the response is an activity. I'm not just working my work plan. I'm responding, which a response is an activity. And you'll see what these folks are all doing from an activity perspective. But at this point, the AI was getting about 27% engagement. And in May 2020, the AI, because it's gotten smarter over time, got 75% engagement. So overall, if you're getting 75% engagement, the fish are jumping, okay? And I would hope you would agree that if the fish are biting, people are going to stay at your fishing hole, and the fishing hole is your dealership. So let's just put up the net and catch the fish. And again, focus on what? Replying. So if you go out there and take a look at what Capital Auto Group was doing, this is what their closing percentage was. They went from 7.2 internet closing percentage. And again, if you drive the engagement, which they were achieving 70% in the month of May 2020, all the results right there for you to see. Again, you can look at the capital presentation I did on leveraging human capital to see more in-depth information about their results. But for this presentation, again, I'm focused on the artificial intelligence because what are we going to do with our staff? We have to think differently because right now, you at the dealership could be hiring your internet team to do all the fishing, which potentially equals less catching. Because if I'm going out there making the phone call, I'm casting the email, I may not be getting that engagement if I don't have the right technology available at my dealership. And you know that reps cherry pick, right? We all know that. These are all the functionalities. You're asking to make phone calls, text, emails, send personalized videos. There's a lot of stuff to do. But if we get artificial intelligence as a technology at the dealership, your BDCs can be differently. And let's think about what BDC is right now at your dealership. A BDC is assistant to the salesperson. Artificial intelligence is a BDC assistant. So that's how you have to think about it. So the BDC, if you get technology like AI, is doing more fishing and less catching. That's where the people come in. The people are going to do all the catching. So I'm going to be paying less money for technology and potentially equal less staff. You never have to worry about artificial intelligence taking a sick day. She works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She's happy. People like them. Okay, people like her, right? Or him, depending upon what you name him. But she's always pleasant. She responds to every lead, doesn't cherry pick. So it's technology we have to really think about being more efficient at the dealership. And last but not least, these are all the culture changes that have happened at Capital Auto Group. The thing to pay attention to, because I'm focused on artificial intelligence for this presentation, is we have to have the BDC work alongside the artificial intelligence. If we know the AI is going out there texting and emailing, this is an opportunity for us to be more efficient and not schedule those tasks out there for the BDC to over-trump what the AI is already doing. Let's have the humans do what they do best. Let's make phone calls. Obviously, let's send personalized video, but if the AI is getting a response, stay on that form of communication with that customer. So at the end of the day, it's all about catching more fish, and the technology is going out there and really helping each and every dealership talk to more customers. So your AI is a friend to your dealership. This is technology at its finest to help drive engagement at your store. And if you get higher engagement, your people can focus on being better repliers. That's what the OEMs want. It's all about a quality response. Let's get it teed up, pass over to your BDC, your internet team, your salespeople, so they can focus on that quality reply that we all want. So thanks again for watching. I hope you find this educational. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You have my contact information below, but hopefully you can appreciate where technology is taking us at your dealership.